An intense moment, not only for those folks who were at that Senior Plus facility. Mary Ellen telling us that they were in there for a knitting group that was coming together. Not just folks that lived there, people from the community coming in just to spend the night together, forced to shelter in place. And then police, apparently, according to Mary Ellen, realized a door was left open. So then they were concerned that there could be a danger, and they had to sweep the building, requiring them to move them out. And that's when she was on the phone with us there, and police trying to handle that situation. And of course, they're trying to handle situations like that in multiple parts of the city tonight. We are expecting an update from state police at Lewiston City Hall shortly. But I also want to share, we are just learning on Twitter that Boston ATF agents are responding to Lewiston. So this is having far-reaching effects, not only for the city of Lewiston, but for agencies all across the state, the local sheriff's office, as well as state police, and now Boston ATF is also on the way to the scene.
Multiple agencies responding. Again, this is from surveillance video from Spare Time in Lewiston. This is who police are looking for right now. If you recognize this person or this vehicle here, which has a black bumper, it looks like a white or a silver crossover vehicle with a black bumper, police are looking for that person and for this vehicle. If you know anything, you can call Lewiston Police. You can also reach out to Androscoggin County Sheriffs. They say they are responding on Facebook. They're also responding you can email dispatch@androscoggincountymaine.gov. Again, dispatch@androscoggincountymaine.gov. And as Zach mentioned, this is something that has affected a lot of people in that area. We know multiple bars, restaurants actually closed down. Some of them locked their doors, locked everyone in until they could figure out what exactly was going on. And this remains an active situation.
Yeah, so at this point, there still could be those people that are locked in places. But of course, we haven't received an update from police just yet to say specifically what's going on there. And I want to ask our control room to perhaps pull up that close-up shot we have of the shooter, because I think it's really important that we look at who he is tonight. Police are still searching for this man, clearly caught on surveillance camera here in a parking lot. You can see a closer shot of his face here compared to that photo we were sharing earlier. He appears to have a large gun in his hands. If you know him, please give police a call.
Yeah.
News Center Maine's Alex Haskell is standing by for us at Lewiston City Hall, where Alex, I hear we're supposed to get more information from state police in just a few moments.
Yeah, hey, Zach, we are waiting for a spokesperson to come over here and share a few more details with us. Last I heard, the spokesperson was at the Lewiston Police Department on their way here, so we should hear from them, see them anytime. I do want to share with you kind of what the scene was like as we approached Lewiston. We got an alert on our phone, and I want to read it to you. Our phones were buzzing, and we got this alert that said, an active shooter is located in Lewiston. Avoid the area and shelter in place immediately. Lewiston officials will follow up as the situation de-escalates. So this is what a lot of folks were seeing. And as we were also approaching Lewiston, I'll never forget it. We were crossing over a bridge into the city, and I just saw a gentleman who was probably out for a walk with his headphones, just sprinting into the city, and the fear on his face, as I imagine he was hearing the news and was going to safety. So that is something that will stick with me. And then after that, there was, of course, multiple police cruisers passing us, ambulances. I believe my photographer also mentioned that he saw a SWAT vehicle. So just many officers in this area, and of course our thoughts are with them during this dangerous time. But we are here in City Hall and just waiting for the state police spokesperson to get here and hopefully share some more details with us. But that is all we have right now. We are here, we are safe, and just waiting to get some more details. Amanda and Zach, I'll toss things back to you and let you know right away when we hear anything.
Alex, you mentioned, seeing that man with his headphones, really heart-wrenching. Can't imagine what people in the area are feeling, how scary things are right now, how tense things are right now. Did you also happen to see, a lot of police activity, a lot of ambulance activity?
So we saw a lot of police cruisers, a lot of ambulance pass us. I think about 10 as we were here in Lewiston. We were told to get to City Hall as quick as we can. So that was our main mission, but we had to pull over many times to allow police officers pass us. We do stories here in Lewiston at nighttime. It's fairly active city, and it was quiet on the sidewalks, and that was a new experience. So very active with police, but many people are staying indoors and listening to the advice given to them.
Absolutely. Of course, a tough, when we talk about these kinds of things, we talk about them in other parts of the country.
Right.
And we always say that line, it could never happen here. And unfortunately, it looks like it has. That alert going out on cell phones across the greater Lewiston area tonight.
Right.
It's been tough.
And I'm from the area. Brian Yukono's from the area. We have family and friends, a lot of family and friends out in that area. Obviously, our hearts go out to everybody out there. But it's something, again, that affects so many people. Obviously, it affects the entire state of Maine because we haven't seen anything of this magnitude before. But also it affects, they had a bowling league happening at Spare Time Recreation in Lewiston. That was one of the scenes. There are restaurants right there where families with their children are out to dinner. You had kids who were playing hockey at the rink in Auburn who had to stop playing hockey, who had to go home. You have people in restaurants that were just completely locked down in the area. So glad to hear that the streets are clear, that people are taking heed, that they're listening to police and staying where they are.
Meantime, this is all, of course, because this is an active situation. They are looking for this man right there on your screen. If you know who he is, please give police a call. It really doesn't matter how you get a hold of them. You can call them on the phone. You can reach out to them on their Facebook page. I believe we also have a photo of the car police say they are looking for. We are, as you can see, just pulling up this information right on Lewiston Police Department's Facebook page. So if you don't catch it here on air, feel free to pull out your phone and go there. But this is that car they're looking for, a white vehicle. It appears to be a Subaru or some kind of wagon SUV crossover type. Police say the front bumper is spray painted black, as you can kind of see there in that photo. So if you know whose car this is, please, or if you see it, please give Lewiston Police a call at 513-3001, extension 3327. Again, that's 513-3001, extension 3327.
This, of course, is affecting area schools as well, despite the fact that they're clearly not in session tonight. But we heard from Lewiston Public Schools earlier tonight. They said if anyone was out, that they urged them to stay inside. We also just heard from the community college out there, Central Maine Community College, saying due to the active shooting situations reported in Lewiston and that the suspect or suspects currently remain at large, CMCC will be closed Thursday, October 26th. Students living on campus will be provided additional guidance. Our thoughts are with our entire community this evening.
And you can see in this video here, people running from the scene, police cars all around. We are working to get some more information for you. State police are expected to give an update at Lewiston City Hall any moment now. And of course, as soon as they speak to the media, we will have that live here on air and online. And as Amanda said, this has far-reaching impacts. So tonight, this isn't just impacting Lewiston. When something like this happens in Maine, it affects the entire state and communities surrounding Lewiston. We're also hearing agents from as far away as Boston. ATF agents are headed to Maine. State police, Androscoggin County, Lewiston police, other local police departments, all train for this. We have covered those stories where they train for every situation and how to respond to this situation, and they all jumped into action tonight, and they are at several scenes in the city of Lewiston tonight just trying to make sense of what happened. This video, you can just see the sheer number of people.
Yeah. And what's been most helpful to them through this investigation is having people stay where they are. Shelter in place is what they're calling it. They are calling this a manhunt. They're asking people to lock the doors, stay inside, stay off the roads, keep things clear for them to move around and do what they need to do. They obviously have leads that they're following, and I'm sure they'll update us on that when we hear from them when they step into Lewiston City Hall to brief us. Now, you mentioned this affects the entire state. We heard from Governor Janet Mills a little bit earlier. She had released released a statement, and she said in part that she is aware of and has been briefed on the active shooter situation in Lewiston. She said, I urge all people in the area to follow the direction of state and local enforcement. I will continue to monitor the situation and remain in close contact with public safety officials.
And we also have something else just in from a senior White House reporter for Bloomberg, the news agency Bloomberg, tweeting out the president has been briefed on what's known so far about the mass shooting in Lewiston, Maine, and will continue to receive updates. Again, we're working to confirm that independently, but a reputable news source, Bloomberg, a White House reporter saying that even the president has been notified of this incident in Maine tonight.
Again, just to reiterate where this area is, the active scenes. We know Spare Time Recreation on Mollison Way in Lewiston, and then about 4 miles from there, Schmeggy's Bar and Grill on Lincoln Street. And as our reporter Jack Molmid told us earlier tonight, they are at Walmart Distribution Center in Lewiston as well, all active scenes. And we do believe that Jack has moved locations. I don't know if he's prepared to speak with us at all, or it looks like he's in the midst of talking with somebody now, so we'll give him a moment before we go back to him. But these are...
In the meantime, we really should, I know it's hard to look at, but pull up that photo of the shooter again for folks, because if you know who he is, police need you to give them a call tonight. They're looking for any information on this man who, as you can see here in the surveillance image, walked into Spare Time with a large gun and injured numerous people, and we're still working to learn those numbers. You may have seen on other national news outlets, numbers have been put out, but we have not independently received numbers. We want to make sure we get those numbers right for you. So we are waiting to hear from state police on specifics any moment now. And again, it's about getting it right in a situation like this for you. So please stay with us. We will give you the most accurate information as soon as you can. This image here, a closer, better shot of that gunman's face so that you can see who he is. If you know who he is, or if you see him, please give police a call.
And certainly, as Zach mentioned, we know these are difficult images to look at. It's hard for us to look at these images, but it's important that if you do recognize this person, that you reach out. Lewiston police are asking you to call them. Again, they are also looking for a car that is, we can't tell, it's either white or silver with a black bumper. We do have an image of it. There it is, right there on your screen. Police are looking for that vehicle as well. So again, if you know anything about this, and that vehicle has a black front bumper.
Yeah, I believe Jack Molmid moved to a new location. He was outside of Spare Time earlier, and if he can hear us, he's talking to someone.
He's busy right now. Yeah, he's in the midst, but he looks like he's right outside of Central Maine Medical Center. Looks like the emergency department that he's at. So we'll let him. He's in the middle of an interview right now. We'll let him finish that up, and then we'll certainly hope to get more information from him while he's there. But we saw images from Central Maine Medical Center earlier tonight, and just the number of ambulances lined up there.
Yeah.
Just difficult to see. We also heard from Central Maine Medical Center. They said they are reacting to a mass casualty, mass shooter event. At this time, they said there are no specifics to share on the number of casualties. That's something we've also heard from police. They don't want to comment yet on the numbers until things have calmed down a little bit more there.
Of course, Central Maine Medical Center, obviously the biggest hospital there, where they have the training for this, the trauma center to handle a situation like this. So all of those ambulances going there, and of course a tough situation. We have also heard from St. Mary's earlier this evening that they were in an emergency meeting, huddled, trying to address whoever was brought there. But again, we don't know how many people. Just into our newsroom, this is tough to report. The AP reports that at least 10 people are dead.
Again, yeah, that's from the Associated Press. They are saying that at least 10 people are dead in this situation. We know that from Lewiston police that a number of people are injured. We have heard that some are in surgery. Take a break. You can slide off if you need to. It's very difficult for us to report this because this is our state. This is our home state. We love the people here, and we know that they're having a very difficult time right now in the Lewiston area. Again, please, if you are in that area, stay where you are, lock the doors. I texted my aunt, she lives in that area. I texted my aunt earlier tonight and I said, please shut the lights off, lock the doors.
Yeah.
Just stay hidden.
Absolutely.
Stay
Listen
out of the
to
way.
police tonight. Please stay home. Please stay safe. We even had some colleagues here saying that they knew people who were at Spare Time, someone in surgery tonight, of course, many more possibly injured in this shooting. And I want to reset this for you. This is happening in Lewiston, in the area of Spare Time on Mollison Way, as well as at Schmeggy's Bar and Grill, just 4 miles away from that. There are multiple scenes. News Center Maine's Jack Molmid is standing by now. And Jack Molmid, I believe you changed locations. Are you at Central Maine Medical Center now?
I did, Zach. Yes, that's correct. I am in front of Central Maine Medical Center, where it is very much an ongoing scene right now. There are dozens of families standing here waiting to find out more information about what's going on, what happened here tonight here in Lewiston, where you guys have been reporting all night that there is an active shooter situation, and law enforcement, Maine State Police, Lewiston Police, different agencies from all over are looking for the suspect. And if you hear anything right now, though, we've heard 2 choppers come in just within the last couple minutes. And over my shoulder here right now, you can see where there is an ambulance set up. There are multiple beds out there. There are law enforcement and medical first responders pouring into this ambulance right now. And like I've been saying earlier, this is still very much an active shooter situation. Families here confused and frustrated and just sad over what's happening right now. I spoke to a woman named Julie. She tells me that her son was at the Schmeggy's bar when she got the call that the shooting happened there. She rushed here to Central Maine Medical Center. I talked to her. She said that she's frustrated, angry. She just wants some information to find out more about her son's condition. And as you can imagine, only imagine, it's just pure frustration here. There are people standing here just waiting to find out more information about really what happened here regarding those multiple injuries that we're hearing about. And since we driven by about an hour ago here at Central Maine Medical Center, there have been dozens upon dozens of people waiting outside. Across the street, there still are about a dozen ambulances there. And I don't know if you can see, but there's an ambulance driving by, so people still pouring in left and right here into Central Maine Medical Center, where there still very much is a shelter-in-place situation here in Lewiston. And if you can hear me, there's a helicopter right now that is landing right now. And it looks like stuff is happening right now. It looks like people are leaving. If my photographer can turn the camera out to the main entrance of the hospital, you can see that there are people pouring around the main entrance. It looks like some kind of thing is happening. I'm not sure what happened. And then people are confused as to what's happening right now. We believe that they're asking people to go inside. And if you could see to my right, if we could get past the sign right here, there is a law enforcement officer standing there on the side of the road, armed and ready. It seems that they're asking people to go inside right now. But for now, we are here outside the Central Maine Medical Center, where it is very much more of an active scene. And as I said, this is still an active scene happening at the Schmeggy's bar, where the police said that they're searching, along with the Walmart Distribution Center here in Lewiston, and along with the Spare Time Recreation Center. Those are all 3 areas that people are searching for at this time. And as I spoke, we saw multiple ambulances, about 3 or 4 helicopters land here at the hospital. It's just an intense scene. People frustrated and scared and confused over what's happening here. Zach, Amanda, I don't know how to quite describe the feeling that I'm getting from people here, but it's just pure shock. And I can't really, I can't mince words here by saying it's just pure shock. That's what I'm seeing here.
All right.
Adding to that shock, we just learned from NBC News, who learned from Lewiston Police, that 22 people are dead now out of this. And Jack, just
Have
at
mercy,
Central Maine
Lord.
Medical Center, which is the trauma
Jesus,
hospital
Lord.
in the area, and you know that they
22.
train for things like this, but
Wow.
you can never be prepared for something like this.
Absolutely. And Jack, you're still with us.
No, Amanda, you can.
Go ahead, yeah.
I am. Yes, hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can't really illustrate that. 22 people dead. Is that what you heard from Lewiston Police, Amanda?
Yes, we just learned that from NBC, who says they heard it from Lewiston Police.
So Jack,
That is Yeah.
Tough to hear for
Go
all
ahead,
of us
Zach.
in the state tonight. Of course, Jack, I want to stay with you just because you're on the ground there. There's a lot happening. We heard a helicopter above you just a bit ago. All of those folks gathered outside of Central Maine Medical Center. You spoke to one woman. What is the feeling like there from people that you're talking to on the ground tonight?
You can't understate it as much. She said that this is one of the worst days for people, not only in Lewiston but statewide. And hearing upon that number of 22 people killed is what you said. That's unspeakable. That is not just Lewiston, not just Maine. That is the nation. And when speaking with Julie, I think she put it well. Beyond the confusion of not knowing her son's condition, she said that she is, quote, pissed off over what's happening, why we hear about this, and now you're just saying 22 people. I think Julie spoke to it without even knowing that totality of human loss we're seeing here in Lewiston. She said that she's frustrated. She moved to Lewiston when she was 17 or 18 years old, and it's been several decades since, and she says that she's never pictured this happening. It's one thing to say you never picture this happening, but when you really hear and see it, it's there's no other words that can describe what's happening.
Yeah, very difficult. And Jack, you started to talk about how hospitals, they obviously train for something like this, but you can never really truly prepare for trauma like this. And Lewiston, it's a big city, but it's still a fairly small area. And it's astounding to me when you see the images that your camera panned over, and we just saw crowds of people standing outside of the hospital. I mean, that's not anything we have ever seen.
Yeah, and if you look to my right, you can still see that there are crowds of people out there. And Amanda, as you said, people train for this. They train for this often, but nothing can really ever prepare you for this. And I'm sure that news of 22 people, that is setting in for a lot of these people, even people who still don't currently know the gravity of what's happened to their loved one. And, it's just horrible to hear. Being somebody to stand outside there, to know that the fate of your loved one is up in the air, and seeing that headline that 22 people were killed here in Lewiston this evening, nothing more to say about that other than just the pure shock. We'll be live here. We'll continue to bring you updates on this tragedy where we're hearing that 22 people have been killed in Lewiston by an active shooter tonight. Zach, Amanda?
Yeah, Jack Molmid, we'll give you a break. I know this is tough to report on, Jack, outside of Central Maine Medical Center there. Thank you, Jack.
And a reminder, right now, police are asking people in the area to shelter in place, stay inside. If you don't have to go anywhere tonight, do not. Multiple businesses in Lewiston and Auburn shut down. People asked to stay inside. We're going to pull up that picture again. Police are looking for this vehicle, this white car, and this man. This is the shooter that they are looking for, who appeared to walk into Spare Time in Lewiston tonight with a large weapon and open fire on, at this point, dozens of people. We have yet to hear about how many more have been injured. So if you know who this man is, police say they are still looking for him, perhaps even others. If you know who he is, please give police a call. Or if you see that white car there, also on surveillance video with some black paint on the bumper, Lewiston police ask that you give them a call, reach out on Facebook, email, whatever you have to do to get them the information they need tonight.
Yes, and we know these images are really, really difficult to see, especially in a community here in Maine. But very, very important that you look at this image and let police know if you do recognize that person or this vehicle. Obviously, something that has affected the entire state. We heard from Governor Janet Mills. We also had a statement from Senator Angus King tonight, where he said he is deeply sad for the city of Lewiston and all those worried about their family, friends, and neighbors. He's receiving regular updates. He awaits further details from authorities and will be headed directly home to Maine once the Senate's final vote is held tomorrow afternoon. He is also asking all Androscoggin County people to allow first responders to address the threat. Again, stay indoors and report suspicious behavior to the local authorities.
And we are also just getting into our newsroom a statement from Congressman Jared Golden, who of course is from Lewiston. He represents that district, District 2. His statement reading, "Like all Mainers, I'm horrified by the events in Lewiston tonight. This is my hometown. Right now, all of us are looking to local law enforcement as they gain control of the situation and gather information. Our hearts break for those who are affected, and we encourage everyone to follow the directions of the authorities as they conduct their work." Again, that's Congressman Jared Golden there.
We have just confirmed that 22 people, at least 22 people, have been killed in this shooting. We know there was an active scene at Spare Time Recreation on Mollison Way and one at Schmenge's Bar and Grill on Lincoln Street, about 4 miles away from that. 22 people killed. It's just a shocking number to hear, and a number of other people have been injured.
Yeah, we can't even begin to make sense of that number right now. And of course, we still don't know.
We're hearing that there's about 50 to 60 people that's injured. Now we're hearing 22 people dead. So this is really getting ridiculous, folks. Send some prayers to Maine.
Your hearts go out to them as well.
I am totally
family
appalled by
members
this.
who likely still haven't gotten word that perhaps one of their loved ones has died. So there's a lot of panic and sadness and frustration in the city tonight. Alex saying there was even some, Jack saying that there was even some anger there tonight. You hear the helicopters swirling around the hospital, ambulances everywhere. Meantime, police are continuing their work to make sense of these scenes, because it's not just one. We're not just talking about Spare Time, where folks were gathered tonight just for that after-work bowling league,
Right.
And to enjoy their time off. And there's also the restaurant 4 miles away. There's possibly other scenes that we have yet to hear about tonight. But again, please take a look at your screen. Police are looking for this man, the shooter who walked into Spare Time earlier this evening and opened fire, allegedly. You can see him here. This is a closer look at his face. If you know who he is, even if you think you know who he is, I know this is tough to look at, but please give police a call. They're also asking if you recognize that car to give them a call as well.
Yeah, it's a Wednesday night in the Lewiston area. We know you mentioned a lot of people out for the bowling league. We know there were tons of people out with kids at restaurants, and many of those restaurants went into lockdown. We had kids who were, evacuated from their hockey rink, had to stop playing hockey. This is something that has affected a lot of people, and as you mentioned, the crowd of people out there outside of Central Maine Medical Center just waiting for something, waiting to hear word from anyone about their loved one, whether they were injured, whether they were one of the 22 killed. Very, very scary situation for a lot of people. And I'm from the area. I know Congressman Jared Golden from the area. I've never seen a crowd gathered outside of the hospital like that.
Right. A lot of questions on their mind, just hoping for the best there. I believe we have some sound from whoever Jack spoke to outside of Central Maine Medical Center earlier. Let's take a listen to that.
Yeah, everybody's here is fine. We're cold. We're worried. There's one very elderly woman who is doing the best she can. We're being told to leave right now. We're going to the armory in Lewiston.
Okay. Are they telling you why? Just to find a safer place?
Okay. I have to listen to the police.
Okay.
Okay. You can call me back in 15 minutes if you want.
Okay. Thanks, Mary Ellen. Be safe.
I've dealt with my age for 27 years, so please be patient. I know you want to get out of here. We're going to do what we can to get you out of here, but I got to...
That was not from Jack,
Yeah.
but that was Mary Ellen Davis, who Chris actually spoke with an hour and a half ago. She was at Seniors Plus, which was across the street from Spare Time Recreation. They were in a knitting group and it was about 8 people, I believe she said, and police came and said, stay where you are. But then once they figured out there was another door open, they asked everyone to evacuate. This is all what Mary Ellen told us, because they had to clear the building. They had to walk through and clear the building. And so you could hear in her voice the terror of what was going on, not knowing. They went to the woods, and then they were moved to the armory, and you can even hear the stress in the officer's voice of, I get it, this is frustrating, but we're just trying to figure this all out.
Absolutely, and they aren't alone. It sounds like there are police from all over Maine, all over New England, even Boston ATF coming up to Lewiston tonight. We have seen some reporting that the president has been notified of this incident and is being updated. The governor, all of Maine's congressional delegation, keeping a close watch on this tonight as all of us try to process that number of at least 22 people killed.
It's a huge number. It's a startling number, and the images that we've been showing you, we know they're very upsetting, but certainly relevant to the investigation right now of who police are looking for and the vehicle that they're looking for. We do know that we are going to hear more very soon in a press conference with, I believe, Lewiston Police and State Police and Androscoggin County there, and you mentioned Boston ATF on their way up to get involved in this investigation. We have Caroline LaCour out there right now, and I believe we'd like to toss things over to you. Caroline, where are you right now?
Hey, good evening, Amanda. I'm standing right in front of the emergency trauma center here at Maine Medical Center in Portland. We might be, Maine Medical Center is known as the emergency department and is Maine's only level 1 trauma center. The trauma center level.
I'll try to stay on for the press conference. I'm going to wait for the press conference and then we'll sign off. But this is devastating.
The highest level of care for a patient presenting after a traumatic injury. Trauma centers are evaluated and verified by the American College of Surgeons, ACS, to improve trauma care. The ACS will evaluate faculty's preparedness, resources, policies, and quality improvement process. Verification by the ACS is valid for 3 years. We will keep you updated as we learn more. We will keep you updated as we learn more on if possibly any victims may be arriving here tonight. Amanda, back to you.
We expect they probably will. Caroline, thank you.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time. And we want to look at that photo again. We keep saying it is hard to look at. We understand, but it is so important that we help police at this moment. If you know who this man is, we're going to pull up that security camera footage again. If you know who he is, the shooter who walked into Spare Time earlier this evening, you're asked to give police a call.
There it is.
There it is right there. Security camera footage, as well as a car police are looking for tonight. If you have any information, if you recognize the vehicle, if you recognize that man, please give police a call.
And I think important to note on that vehicle, one distinguishing mark of it, because it does look like a very common vehicle, is the front bumper is black.
Yeah, it looks like it was painted black after the fact there, if you look closely at your screen.
Yeah, just upsetting news, and we understand this is difficult. Trust us, it's difficult to report on, but 22 people killed in this shooting. We know a number of others have been injured. We have heard from at least one person who actually works here, her brother-in-law, in surgery right now. Just a very, very active situation still in Lewiston. Again, we know the investigation focused here at Spare Time Recreation, where these photos are coming from, and also Schmenge's Bar and Grill on Lincoln Street. That's about 4 miles away. Also, Jack is telling us that Walmart Distribution Center in Lewiston, also a scene of a crime here.
Absolutely, and we can't overstate the fact that this has an impact not just on the Lewiston community. We were talking about our own colleagues who know people involved. Something like this, Maine is a small town. It's going to impact all of us and surrounding communities outside of Maine tonight. The governor releasing a statement earlier saying that she's just urging people to please stay safe, stay inside, don't go out. Just stay inside and keep you and yourself and your family safe tonight. And if you see this man, please give police a call.
We spoke with St. Mary's Hospital. There are two hospitals in Lewiston there. There's St. Mary's and there's Central Maine Medical Center. CMMC, typically more the trauma-centered hospital, but we just heard from Caroline saying that they're likely to see more of that trauma coming to Maine Medical Center in Portland because, I mean, we know both hospitals there in Lewiston are certainly not equipped to handle.
Right, and they prepare for this unfortunate event. They are ready to respond when people are taken from one hospital in one part of the state, whether it be by life flight, whether it be by ambulance, to that higher level trauma center where they actually can handle that kind of thing. And speaking of Central Maine Medical Center, Jack Moment is still there, where earlier we saw a number of people just gathering outside the door, waiting to hear news on their loved ones that we're assuming are inside. Jack, is there anything more you can tell us about that?
Well, Zach, from the last time we spoke, it has pretty much cleared out here from the main entrance of the hospital. As you can see to my left here, you can see that all that is standing there right now are two security guards that are still probably waiting to hear out more information as well, making sure that this place is secure. They were taking down names of people who were reportedly, or taking on names of people who may have had family impacted by those 22 people that were killed here in Lewiston tonight. Now, a big thing to remember is that this is still very much an active shooter situation. We know that police are looking at Schmeggy's bar. They're also looking at the bowling alley here in Lewiston, that is the Spare Time Recreation Center, and they're also looking at the Walmart Distribution Center. That is a warehouse here in Lewiston. That is not the Walmart store in Auburn, and this is still an active, ongoing, active shooter situation that we are still constantly monitoring. Now, we were on the main road here earlier, but police did tell us that we need to get behind the main road here. So as you can see, I'm standing kind of in the ramp here that leads from the hospital out to the main road. They said that this was for safety reasons. And during the time in which we moved out here, we saw that those people that were naming off if any loved ones were impacted by this. And one of those people that did have a loved one impacted by, we ended up talking to her. Her name is Julie. She said she moved here to Lewiston at 17 or 18 years old. And you can't understate this enough. She really said that she told me, quote, "This is crazy." She said she's never seen anything like that. She said she's frustrated. She told me that her son was at Schmeggy's bar. She said that her ex-husband was actually at that bar at the same time, left minutes before the shooting. She was notified that her son was shot. She does not know the situation still to this point right now. She does not know if he's alive or dead. And you can't imagine the shock and confusion and the horror that's on a mother's face that upon learning that information, whether or not your son maybe passed away or not. And that's really, I know Julie's not alone in this horrific tragedy that's happening here in Lewiston. But what we do know is that there still is an ongoing active shooter investigation here in Lewiston. Officials are saying to stay inside, do not travel, stay inside, lock your doors, and keep an eye out as police continue to search through those various leads. For now, we're reporting live here at the Central Maine Medical Center, the hospital closest to where the shooting took place. For now, we'll toss it back to the anchors.
Live for us in Lewiston tonight. We want to bring you up to speed, obviously, of what's going on right now. Terror, quite frankly, in the second largest city in our state. A man armed with what appears to be a rifle opening fire tonight at a crowded bowling alley. NBC News reporting from Lewiston Police that 22 people have been killed in Lewiston tonight, and multiple scenes are under investigation right now.
Yeah, and obviously an active situation. And if you've been with us, you see we've got people literally gathering information real time as we are all in a full working newsroom right now, gathering information in real time as you at home are working real time. And, you know, this is one of the curses and blessings of social media and the internet is that everybody seemingly has information. It's our job to decipher what's real and what's not and then pass that along to you. So, you know, we're learning on the fly here with you guys and just trying to keep you updated on what's going on. Obviously, the one thing that is clear is this is a tragic day for our state. There's no way around that. This is going to go down in history and not the way that we want it to. Brian, is the two of us who are from this state, this is hard to do. This is our job to pass along information to keep people safe and let them know what's going on as we learn about it. At the same time, these are our state mates, if you will, and the people are hurting tonight, and people are going to hurt for a long time to come. And the more we learn, the harder it is.
And if we can keep these images on your screen, let us just describe what you're looking at. These are photos from Lewiston Police, Androscoggin County Sheriff's Office. This is the vehicle they believe they are looking for tonight. So take note of these images right now. These are images taken taken, again, police sharing these from inside Spare Time Recreation, which is in Lewiston. It's a long-standing business there. Bowling league underway tonight. From what we understand, and certainly a crowd of people there tonight as well.
Yeah, and they are sharing these images so that people are aware of what they're looking for. At the same time, they're really telling people to not look for this person. They're telling people to stay where you are, stay inside. There were parent-teacher conferences going on tonight. Imagine being a parent at a school with your child and hearing that you're locked in. So this is a scary situation for everybody in Androscoggin County and for the whole state. Eyes are all over this. We've heard from Senator King. We've heard from Congressman Golden. Brian, I know you were just saying we've heard that the White House has been briefed on this, and so they're keeping eyes on this. This is obviously a very big deal.
Yeah, and the big message tonight at this moment right now is this person is not in custody. There's an active search for this shooter. Lewiston is in a shelter-in-place order right now. They're urging you, do not go out on the roadways. Do not leave your house. Auburn is as well. So both Twin Cities right there. And so many of us are familiar with these communities and these businesses that were certainly targeted tonight in what happened. And we know that this is a close community.
Well, and to your point about, we will get to the aftermath. We will get to the details. Right now, primary concern number one is finding this man, and so that people can feel safe again. Because right now there are people all across our state that don't. And so the search for this man is priority number one. Maine State Police has been on the scene for a while. We are expecting to hear from them very shortly. Obviously, we've got crews all around it as well. So as the news comes in, we will pass it along to you.
And this right here is video right now from earlier tonight. Shortly after, we have to believe those shots were fired at Spare Time. Those are people running out of the building. And these are the images that we have been seeing all night, and certainly we have to assume you have as well on social media, as there is a lot of them circulating. Our crews, as Lee was mentioning, are spread out throughout Lewiston and Portland right now. We are waiting for any other official word right now from police. Again, the last word we had was NBC News reporting from Lewiston Police that 22 people were killed in this shooting tonight. We do anticipate hearing from public safety tonight. They're telling us they are prepared to give a statement. We anticipate hearing them. We have Alex Haskell is live at City Hall in Lewiston, where we expect to hear that. And if you're not familiar, you're looking right now at the map of Spare Time Recreation, where was at least one of the locations of this shooting tonight. And it's just off busy Main Street in Lewiston. As you're heading north on Main Street on 202, Spare Time is on your right there as you're traveling down. And if you're familiar with it, you know exactly the area we were talking about. And not far from there, within a few miles and more of the heart of downtown Lewiston, is the other location where we know that there was a shooting scene tonight as well.
I mean, this is the thing that, air quote, isn't supposed to happen in our state. And we've seen tragedies like this all across the country for years now. And I've always felt very lucky and very blessed that it doesn't happen here. It hasn't happened here. It is happening here. And that's a sobering moment for all of us from here that have so much pride in our state and that are all hurting right now as we try to learn more about what's going on, more to keep you safe, and most importantly, to find the person responsible so that once they do, people can at least, for now, exhale and try to put the pieces together after that.
Yeah, and to Lee's point, the big message right now is this person is not in custody as far as we know. And that is the message. And while we are all processing and all frankly just processing what's going on, this is the big message right now, that this person on your screen, according to police, is not in custody right now, and there's a search for him.
Governor Mills has obviously been aware of the situation, releasing a statement. I am aware of and have been briefed on the active shooter situation in Lewiston. I urge all people in the area to follow the direction of state and local law enforcement. And Senator King has also released a statement. Congressman Golden has released a statement. Senator King is deeply sad for the city of Lewiston and all those worried about their family, their friends, their neighbors. He's receiving regular updates and awaits further details from local authorities and will be headed directly home to Maine once the Senate's final vote is held, and that is for tomorrow afternoon. So
And this is not just a Lewiston-specific thing. Obviously, state police are involved. We now know that the Boston division of ATF are now involved. So this is getting much bigger attention because of the scope of what has happened here tonight.
I mean, and we're talking, with NBC confirming 22 people dead, that doesn't even start to touch on the number of people who've been injured by this, and all of the different hospitals that are aiding and that are helping in this. I mean, this is a broad-reaching event that is affecting so many people in so many different ways.
Yeah, when you think about Lewiston, Auburn, there are two primary hospitals there. The Central Maine Medical Center, which Jack Moment is at for us, a very active scene tonight. We've seen emergency responders there. There's St. Mary's Hospital. Obviously, there are all the trauma centers and hospitals in Portland, and Northern Light Health has also said tonight that they are on the ready. They're on standby to be able to help any way they can because of the size of this.
And we heard, I think Jack, when he was outside Central Maine Medical Center, you could hear helicopters landing on the roof at the time. So obviously it's safe to assume life flights involved here. And Jack is outside the hospital. We'll go back to him right now.
Yeah, that's right, guys. I am here outside the Central Maine Medical Center here, where we have been for the last hour or so. And just to put the gravity here, it's been probably, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but around 2 hours or so since we've been here, since we got here, and we've been hearing reports of this go on. And since this, we've been monitoring the situation, the active shooter situation. And again, I am here outside the Central Maine Medical Center, where just earlier, if the camera can pan a little bit to my left, see that this is where the main entrance is, where earlier we saw dozens of people standing there, giving their information to the hospital workers so that they can line them up to see if any loved ones from anybody standing out there would be impacted by this. Speaking of that impact from families, it's just, it's unspeakable. I spoke with a mother. Her name is Julie. She said she moved here to Lewiston when she was 17 or 18 years old. It's been many decades since. She tells me her son was at Schmenge's bar when the shooting happened. She got the call, immediately called her ex-husband, who was also at the same bar. She said he left minutes prior to that shooting. She said that her son was transported here. She does not know the situation with her son right now. It's just a pure tragedy. She doesn't know if he's alive or dead, and I don't know if you could really illustrate how that feels for a mother at this point, and I'm sure Julie's not alone either. Those are just some of the stories that we are hearing at Central Maine Medical Center here. And again, it's been several hours now, and the suspect in the shooting is still on the loose. Lewiston police, Maine State Police, are telling everybody to stay inside, lock your doors, don't go outside, don't travel, stay on lockdown until they track down the suspect, the shooter in this instant, the shooting that claimed 22 lives here in Lewiston this evening. And that lockdown, that means stay inside, don't drive, lock your doors, and be on the lookout. We were on the main road here.
Androscoggin County officials have issued a county-wide shelter-in-place order. Please make sure your homes and vehicles are secured. Updates from officials will be forthcoming.
Just loss of life. It's unthinkable. 22 lives in Maine gone this evening here in Lewiston. Implications here, nationwide. And again, that suspect is still on the loose. And you're asked to contact the Androscoggin Sheriff's Center Police if you know anything about that. And I believe we've been running that photo of what we believe to be the suspected shooter there, along with some of the details of the vehicle he's driving. But for now, we've been live here at Central Maine Medical Center, just really trying to do our best to understand what's going on here in this tragedy this evening, guys.
Jack, if you can stay with us for a moment, you started your evening when you first got to Lewiston at Spare Time Recreation at the bowling alley, where we understand this unfolded. Can you describe to us what you saw there while you were talking? We saw some of the video of people running across the parking lot there. Can you describe what you saw when you got there tonight?
That's right, Brian. When we arrived to the Spare Time Recreation Center in Lewiston, that's the bowling alley, one of the 3 places police say that they are looking for that suspect. We were met by armed law enforcement telling us that we need to leave, telling us that that is very much an active situation. The entire 2 to 3 minutes that we were there, we did not see a single person that was not related to law enforcement in some way. I can't tell you I've ever seen that many law enforcement cars at one point in my life before. It was a lot to see, really kind of you understood the gravity of the situation. And when we talk about the gravity of the situation, we can't forget about the woman that I spoke to earlier here at Central Maine Medical Center, Julie, who still at this point does not know really the situation of her son, who was in that shooting, who she was told was transported here to Central Maine Medical Center. She tells us she's frustrated. We had a chance to sit down with her as she was just collecting her thoughts, and here's what she had to say.
My ex-husband and my son were playing pool, and next thing I know, I saw on Facebook that there was a shooting at Schmeggy's where they were playing, and then nobody would tell us anything. Just go to CMMC. His wife, his son, my ex-husband are here. Friends are here. We're all waiting, and we've heard nothing. They won't tell us if he's alive, if he's in critical condition, if he's passed. They won't tell us anything.
They told us that this is an active scene. And as you heard, Julie is just absolutely frustrated. The mix of emotions from her: devastated, frustrated, confused, emotional, heartbroken, frustrated, she told me, over what's happened here tonight. She moved to Lewiston when she was 17 or 18 years old, and says that, we all say this stuff, is that we never expect it to happen. But it did happen here tonight, where 22 people lost their lives here, and that suspected gunman is still on the loose. Had a chance to talk with Julie a little bit more about what this experience has been like. Let's go in and take a listen to that.
I'm a little freaked out. I want to know. You know what I mean? He's a young man. They shouldn't leave us hanging like this. Just tell us. I feel so bad for his wife. I mean, my kid, I don't know what's going on with him.
They told us that this is an active scene. And I don't know if you guys can hear this right now, but we do have a chopper that's taking off from Central Maine Medical Center. We're not quite sure where it's headed right now, but after talking with Julie, that's when we did learn that 22 people lost their lives here in Lewiston this evening. And quickly I turned around and saw Julie standing there at the main entrance. She was one of the many, many family members standing out there giving her information to people working at the hospital to see if her loved one, her young son, was affected by this shooting. For now, we're live here at Central Maine Medical Center, the hospital closest to where these shootings have taken place, and where armed law enforcement are here on standby. We're just all waiting to find out more information on what happened here, guys.
Jack Mulwood at Central Maine Medical Center tonight. Jack, thank you. We just saw actually behind Jack's live shot there, an armed officer walking past him. So obviously multiple scenes right now, and a tremendous police presence in a number of communities.
Sure, and while he was talking, just a few things have happened. The White House has weighed in with an official statement. The president has been briefed on what is known so far about the mass shooting in Lewiston, Maine, and will continue to receive updates. Not much information, but it's more than what we had a few minutes ago. And the woman that Jack spoke with on camera about the fear and not knowing. And I mean, like we mentioned earlier, there were parent-teacher conferences tonight. There were events at schools in the area tonight. Now, Superintendent Robert Langlaise of Lewiston Schools has already called off school for tomorrow. I'm understanding there's a meeting that's happening right about now with all the educational staff in the Lewiston area, but obviously there won't be school tomorrow. It's going to be the last thing on people's mind. But that is not an insignificant fear. That everybody in that area and the surrounding areas didn't have to go through tonight. And, luckily nothing happened at those areas. But when you're locked in and locked down and shut out and you don't know, like we all still currently don't know, where is this person? The person they've been looking for, the person driving that white Subaru, where is he? And so until that gets answered, and there's a picture of him now, this is the picture released by police of who they believe is the suspect here. Until he is found and caught, everybody's on edge, everybody's awake right now, nobody's gone to bed, nobody is moving on with their day. My phone is blowing up from people who are currently living in Maine, who used to live in Maine, who all have eyes glued to see this, God willing, get resolved quickly, so that people can at least exhale for a minute, and then we try to figure out what happened.
You are looking right now on your screen. This is the white Subaru that police say that shooter, who's on your screen now, was likely driving. A distinguishing feature of that vehicle is that the front bumper is black. The rest of the vehicle appears to be a white or a silver. And again, to emphasize, don't go looking for this. It's simply for you to be aware of what police are looking for right now. Otherwise, you are urged in the Lewiston and Auburn area to stay put. and keep your doors locked as the search continues for this person.
As we wait to hear from Maine State Police, which, literally could be any minute. So, it could be a second before we have to just kind of break away and hear from them as we're waiting to do. We know they're there. We know that they're compiling information that they want to share with the public to keep you and us all informed. And as we do that, and, I mentioned this, maybe 20 minutes ago, just be careful on social media. Right now, everybody seems to know something about something, and some of it might be true, some of it might not. So this is just a kind of a warning to make sure that whatever you're believing and listening to and spreading and sharing, that it is verified information, so to not cause any more panic than that's already necessary. I mean, this is bad enough for what we actually do know. We don't need to make it worse with stuff that we're guessing about.
And, we've been talking, Jack had mentioned we've been on the air for about 2 hours with you now. This is one of those things that we have sat through many times before in other communities. And there's certainly a lot of chatter tonight on social media of, I can't believe it happened here. This is Maine. This is my home. This is my community. I know this building. I've bowled there.
Well, actually, that's the thing. Like tonight, it's a Wednesday night. It's an innocuous day in October on a Wednesday where you just want to go out and join your bowling league. And we have seen this and heard this so many times in so many communities. And we felt so sad for those people and for those communities. And now we are that community. And, now we are those people that the rest of the country is watching and feeling bad for.
Right.
And that's just,
We do have crews. We have seen Jack Mohammed tonight. Alex Haskell is in Lewiston as well. Caroline LaCour is also live with us tonight. I believe in Portland tonight. Caroline, what can you tell us about what's happening there right now? Jack was describing hearing the medical helicopters in the air there.
Yeah, good evening, Brian. We have not seen any helicopters so far, but we just see an ambulance pull in from Turner right behind me. I'm right standing in front of the emergency center here at Maine Medical Center in Portland. Maine Medical Center is the only level 1 trauma center in the state. The trauma center levels, level 1 through 5, refers to the resources available to take care of a patient that has gone through a traumatic injury. So they do have the resources here to take care of patients. But it has not been confirmed that victims have been here yet, but we will keep you updated as we learn more. Back to you, Brian.
Caroline LaCour outside a hospital in Portland tonight. We anticipate, if the numbers are as large as we are learning, that patients, victims, would be taken to some of these other facilities.
And you hear the number of 22 people killed, and, one person is staggering, right? 22 is beyond our recognition here. To put it in perspective, last year, 2022, in the state of Maine, there were 29 homicides for the year. And at least what we have confirmed for right now is 22. It's beyond comprehension that something like this happened. And it's not settling to say, well, it was a matter of time.
Right.
It's not comforting. It's not what should happen anywhere. But certainly this is our home, and this is where we live, and these are our people, and these are our friends and our family. And, we're just starting to hear from people who know somebody who was at the bowling alley, who know somebody who was at the bar. And it's becoming very personal and very real for them. And for all of us, you don't have to know these people to hurt for these people, and to feel for these people. And these are our neighbors. And this is what this state has always been about: is loving our neighbors. And whether it was as relatively simple as the ice storm of '98 to something as tragic as tonight, we rally for our friends and our neighbors, whether they're strangers or we've known them our whole lives. And the whole state is rallying around itself tonight as we try to learn more, try to comfort those who we're learning about, and try to find out more, and ultimately try to catch this person.
So again, the search continues at this hour for this gunman tonight, who NBC News again reporting through Lewiston Police, 22 people killed. You were looking moments ago at a map that showed Spare Time Recreation, a bowling alley in Lewiston just off Main Street. That is one of the scenes tonight. The other was Smenji's Bar, which is also in Lewiston, kind of more toward the center of the city, if you will. in the grid streets. And police right now say this person is not in custody. We are still awaiting word from the Department of Public Safety, Maine State Police obviously involved, federal agents involved from the Boston office coming up here as well. So there are kind of two tales unfolding at this hour tonight. As Jack was telling us, with families waiting outside the hospital at Central Maine Medical Center, waiting to find out the condition of their loved ones. There are certainly easily 24 families in that position at this hour, waiting for answers, waiting to find out what happened, and presumably more with family members who were injured. And then there is the active search underway right now. Our crews who have been traveling up to Lewiston tonight have said that going up 95 at the exits along the way, there were stationed cruisers with spotlights out. And that is what the manhunt looks like right now. Again, Lewiston is in a shelter in place. Auburn is as well, because this person's whereabouts are unknown right now. So again, you're looking at the photos of this man tonight. You can see him holding what appears to be a weapon, walking into spare time recreation tonight. And police have shared multiple angles of him and the vehicle they believe he's driving right now, that white Subaru Outback with a black front bumper.
I want to update on what you just talked about the towns that have the shelter in place. So just coming in from Androscoggin County officials, they have issued a county-wide shelter in place. This is everybody in Androscoggin County. They want you to make sure your homes, your vehicles are secured, and they will continue to update as they are warranted. But that is that's the whole county of Androscoggin County, so wherever you
which is a large area. Yeah. Those are Lewiston and Auburn obviously are the largest communities there, but it stretches much further from that obviously. Latest census data puts it at about 110,000 people. Being told right now to stay where you are, do not go out. That is the word from Androscoggin County Sheriff's Office tonight. So again, just a few notes that we're continuing to recap for you. Lewiston does not have school tomorrow. Central Maine Community College does not have school tomorrow. Obviously, there is a ton to process right now of what next steps will be, and even what those conversations will look like, in anticipating that hopefully sooner rather than later, this person will be in custody.
And we appreciate your patience with us. I mean, we generally try to be a well-oiled machine when we're talking, but we are literally hearing people, reading things, talking to each other, talking to our field crew, and learning all this live together. So everything we're hearing, we're literally spitting out to you. Once it's confirmed and we can verify it's actually true. So that's the main point.
And that's a tricky point in a situation like this. You know, Lee, you mentioned it earlier of it's easy to see a post on social media and believe it. And as journalists, that's our job to weed through that of what is accurate, where is the source, who is telling us that. So again, we're doing everything we can to confirm and double confirm and make sure the information we are getting to you is accurate. So just keep that in mind as you are seeing other information out there.
Maine State Police Commissioner is going to be talking eventually. At least that's the goal from Maine State Police, that will happen. So we're keeping an eye on that. We have a crew obviously there waiting for some official statement from Maine State Police about what's going on. Clearly, they're very busy right now. This is the person they're looking for. So press conference is probably not front of mind right now. Right now, front of mind is to find that person and capture him and give everybody a chance to take a breath, to know that at least that part of this nightmare is going to be over. There will be plenty of nightmare to come as we learn more details, and they will be awful details, and we won't want to hear about them. But we will learn, and we will talk about it, and we will comfort each other. And we'll do what Mainers do. But first and foremost, this person has to be caught, and that's what all focuses are on right now. And that's what we're sitting here really waiting to happen, and hopefully it just happens sooner than later. So.
Just about 6 minutes ago, a statement from the FBI Boston Division came out. They certainly are involved in this at this point, that they are making their resources available to state agencies as is needed. And really the clear message from obviously now the FBI out of Boston to our own local police, urging you at home to be vigilant, report any and all suspicious activity or individuals to law enforcement immediately. This is an active search right now, is the latest we know, for this gunman. Who police reporting tonight claimed the lives of 22 people at a bowling alley on a Wednesday night in Lewiston. in the heart of our state.
We've talked about it now for 29 minutes. We've been listening to it for a couple of hours now, and then, then you just said it, and this is real. This is not a nightmare. It's a nightmare situation. It's going to feel like a nightmare for time to come, and this is not. That's something that anybody in any state expects, right? So, but this is happening here. It's going to go down in history as an event that will change so many people's lives, and not in a good way. So this is just this very sad, awful thing to be sitting here talking to you guys about. Brian, between the two of us, we've probably got 50 years of doing something like this on television, and this is not something that I think either one of us ever thought we'd be sitting next to each other doing. Two kids from Maine talking about something going on in our state. So.
But here we are tonight. And so again, you're looking at the images of the person police say is the gunman tonight. We've mentioned we have a number of crews in Lewiston and in Portland. A short time ago, our Jordan Sarter Francis shared a video with him on the streets, and we want to show you his perspective.
How you doing? I'm Jordan Sarter Francis. I'm with News Center, Maine. What just happened?
Somebody was running with a gun. That's all we know, and then the cops came and had us all lay down.
So the cops had you all lay down?
Right here, yeah.
Guns drawn at you all?
Yes.
And they saw somebody in this area?
No, he went in that building.
He went in that building? Did they clear the building?
No. The guy just kept going in that building?
All right, thank you all. Jordan Sarter Francis here in Lewiston.
So again, you just saw some video from our Jordan Sarter Francis in Lewiston tonight. Those are, frankly, it's a little hard to believe that he is on the streets of our communities right now talking about what has unfolded tonight, and hearing from people who found themselves in the middle of this, being told to get down, and seeing police with weapons and other people running by them. But that's the reality tonight that we're up against.
As scary of the reality of what you were told to do is the information that they did not have at the time, nor do we still have, of what's happening. Right. So, when you're, you go into panic, you don't know what's going on. It's a massive search for information. Why am I locked in here? Why am I doing this? What does this mean? Is my mom okay? Is my dad okay? Are my kids okay? In a lot of cases, I'm guessing people couldn't get in touch with each other, depending where they were locked down, and that's frightening in and of itself in this day and age of communication to not have that. So.
And near one of these shooting scenes, near these Spare Time Recreation bowling alley, is a Seniors Plus location. We heard from one woman who was telling us, they were in there and were concerned about what was going on, beat to that very pointly of just immediate unknown. Clearly something had gone terribly wrong by what they saw. We've seen in the video, people running through a parking lot. Certainly a large number of police cruisers arriving on scene with their weapons drawn. Our own Jack Molmud was telling us when he arrived at Spare Time tonight, they were met by armed officers telling them to simply get away, don't even be in the area, because in those immediate moments, there was complete question about what was going on. At least at this point, we know that police have identified who they say is the gunman. We have seen those photos shared from what is presumably surveillance video from inside Spare Time. That's what it appears to be, of him walking in with what appears to be a weapon.
And the police real quick to get that out there. And again, I think you mentioned a little bit earlier, not for anybody to go out and look for this person. It's to really, if you're staying in place, which hopefully you are, if you happen to be out and you see this person, just stay away from this person, stay away from that car, stay away from this person, for obvious reasons. And, communities all across our state that don't happen to even be in Androscoggin County are reacting to all the news tonight with statements, and therefore, Great New Gloucester, superintendent of schools, canceling school for Great New Gloucester tomorrow. Great New Gloucester is not next to Lewiston. So Central Maine Community College, obviously right there, is in Lewiston, and so this is what their campus looked like a little bit earlier tonight. Right now, that's Central Maine Medical Center. Sorry. So you can see what the scene was like there. Obviously chaotic, but in this video anyway, looking relatively controlled. It's just an absolute nightmare situation. Situations, Brian, that thank goodness the schools are trained for, the police are trained for, first responders are trained for. They do all the live active shooting trainings you could possibly do to be ready just in case this happens, with the ultimate hope that this will never happen.
Right.
But this is happening currently. It has happened throughout the night here, and all of the training and all of the work and all of the research and all of the efforts to have a plan, hopefully working as well. To keep as many people safe as possible as they have to react to what happened earlier tonight.
So obviously, this is video from just a short time ago outside Central Maine Medical Center in Lewiston. Clearly, a number of people outside the hospital, as Jack Moment was showing us, one woman waiting to learn about the condition of her son. That in itself is a scene to be managed. Certainly high emotions there, a lot of questions unknown. One of these shooting locations was Spare Time Recreation in Lewiston. Again, Central Maine Medical Center is 2 miles down the road. It is a 6-minute drive. So that certainly was the fastest route for these families to go to. And certainly we imagine any injured who needed medical attention right away. So that distance, if there is good news, was close to get to a significant hospital for care. But as we have been seeing and hearing, multiple medical helicopters have been in and out of Lewiston.
And as we touched on earlier, this is not a Maine story. This has become a national story. The world is watching us. This update from Senator King's office: President Biden reached out to Senator King, directly, offered any federal assistance he can provide to help the people of Maine. Senator King expressed his deep appreciation of the president for the outreach of support. And given the horrific nature of the events in Maine, Senator King is going to head to Maine on one of the first flights available. He wants to be home to support Lewiston any way he can. He originally had talked about Senator King coming home tomorrow after an important vote there, and it looks like that plan has changed. He's going to be coming home now, and the president is speaking directly with the senator to offer his support with anything that the state might need.
So again, we have heard from Governor Janet Mills tonight, certainly, and Senator Angus King, as Lee was just sharing with us. And there's definitely a sense of, in terms of the tone we are hearing from a number of our officials, of kind of a shock to, wow, okay, this is here, this is happening, and a sympathy and kind of a drive to, we need to find out what's happening, with an underlying message right now for everyone to stay safe. Make sure you are in a safe place. Again, as Lee was telling us a moment ago, the shelter in place was for Lewiston and Auburn. That has now been expanded county-wide for Androscoggin County tonight. And that is the message on your screen right now, that this is the person they are looking for tonight. We do anticipate, again, hearing from the Department of Public Safety tonight. We have a crew live at City Hall in Lewiston, where we are told that briefing will likely take place. We are awaiting word from them, of course, as our crews continue working to learn more about what's happening on the ground. That number is tough to watch on the bottom of your screen right now.
Yeah, it's just, when you're turning on the television, if you haven't been with us for the past couple of hours, if you're just getting home, if your phone's been blowing up and you don't know why, and you put on the TV and you see, what? 22 people senselessly losing their lives tonight, and that's 22 people that we know about. And certainly the instant fear is that number might go up once there's time to kind of pay more attention to that and less attention to trying to find this person. And when I say person, I mean, we've been told so far by law enforcement, officially confirmed, that there is at least one person they're looking for. To be fair, that doesn't mean there's only one. They've just told us about one. So we keep our ears open to everything that we're hearing from law enforcement. Again, Maine State Police standing by to talk at any minute now, and whenever they're ready to do that, we'll certainly bring that to you so we can hear what they have to say officially. But just a chaotic scene in Lewiston, in Auburn, Sabattis, Lisbon, and all the surrounding towns, the entire county on lockdown, as it should be. There's no reason for anybody to go anywhere right now until this is resolved. And that just can't happen quickly enough to get that resolved and at least give some peace to the people who are sitting here watching this materialize and develop live in front of our eyes, and give them some peace that at least this part of the nightmare would be over. And then we can just start to figure out what happened.
So there are a lot of unknowns right now, which is an unusual position for us to be in, because we are used to trying to give you information. So what we are sharing with you is what we know right now, as we are working to get new information all the time. And as that comes in, we'll have this here. Obviously, if you can stream us in any way and get the information when it comes in, because we are awaiting what we imagine will be some very helpful details when we hear from police about what they are going through right now. Again, some of the video you're looking at right now is from earlier this evening outside those shooting scenes in Lewiston. I do believe that's the Spare Time Recreation Building in Lewiston you're looking at right now. Police cruisers outside. At one point, we do see a number of people running through that parking lot there. And that's what we're waiting to learn more about, of how many people were there, how many people were injured and wounded. And again, that number that we know right now is that 22 people lost their lives tonight there. But that's where we're working to still get answers. To refresh your memory, these are the surveillance images from inside Spare Time. This is the gentleman police say they are looking for tonight. There's a close-up of his face. And also police sharing a picture of the vehicle they believe he is driving, that white Subaru Outback with a black front bumper. That search continues right now. Do we have an opportunity to go back to Jack in Lewiston, where we know there were a number of people gathering outside Central Maine Medical Center? I know he is actively working to talk with a number of them and try to hear more about what they are up against tonight, as we are also waiting on more information as well. So Jack does join us now live. Jack, bring us up to speed of what that scene looks like at this hour. We've seen your video, obviously, of a decent number of people waiting outside the hospital. Has there been any progress for those people there tonight?
No, Brian, actually standing here for the last half hour or so, the number of people has continued to trickle out. People leaving, the amount of cars here has emptied out. I think, it's hard to say what those families are going through right now. For the ones that did list off their loved one to people working at the hospital, found out that their loved one was one of those people affected. It's just unspeakable. And you can't imagine what somebody's going through standing there having to list off the information for their loved one and then hear that news. And while I was standing here earlier, when we did have several dozen people standing outside Central Maine Medical Center, I was standing there watching them, and that's when we saw that piece of information that 22 people were shot and killed tonight in Lewiston. And standing there looking at those families, you can't even imagine what they're thinking, what they're going through, the confusion, the shock. One woman I spoke with, her name was Julie. She moved to Lewiston when she was 17 or 18 years old, and she heard that her son was at the Schmenge's bar in Lewiston at the time of the shooting. She heard that her son was shot. She came here to Central Maine Medical Center, where she's been, and doesn't really know where if her son is alive or dead. And she also told me that her ex-husband was at Schmenge's bar as well, and left minutes prior to when that shooting happened. She said that she called him actually about something, and he left after that. And that's when the shooting happened. So she does not know if her son is alive or dead. She tells me that she's frustrated, she's confused, overall sad. You can't even illustrate it. I don't think there's any words to really describe about that, what that's happening there. But as we continue to talk here outside Central Maine Medical Center, this is the hospital closest to where police are looking into those areas for that suspected shooter. Again, 22 people shot and killed here in Lewiston, where police say that they were looking at the Spare Time Recreation Center. That's in Lewiston. That's a bowling alley. When we pulled in there, the scene was hectic, full of police cars, not a single non-law enforcement person in sight. Truly just a jarring scene. And as I said earlier, I can't remember a time in which I've seen that many police cars there. But standing here outside Central Maine Medical Center, still an active hunt for the suspected shooter. Law enforcement actually had us move down here to this ramp to stay safe from the main road here. But as it stands right now, we're still trying to figure out more information as we stay here at Central Maine Medical Center. For now, we're live here. We'll toss it back to you guys.
Yeah, Jack, thank you. This just in from Lewiston Public Schools, too. Just obviously school, the furthest thing from everybody's mind right now. But releasing a statement there will not be school tomorrow. At this time, no activity at all at Lewiston schools. There is a lot of unknown at this time. Information moves quickly, not always accurately. Please continue to shelter in place and get to safety. We'll continue to update you with information and next steps as they are appropriate. Stay close to your loved ones. Embrace them. Our prayers go to those who maybe lost someone tonight. Our prayers go out to all of those working to stop any further loss of life. And we will provide updates. That is a statement from Lewiston Public Schools.
So to reset, what we know at this hour is that 22 people lost their lives tonight, and a search continues right now for that gunman.
Yeah, Hannah Kumler is out in Lisbon right now at a boat launch where the police have been spending a lot of time focusing on that area. Hannah, what's going on there?
Hey, Lee. Yeah, hey, Brian. We were at a boat launch, or I should say we attempted to go to the boat launch. Where I'm standing right now and where you can see police are gathered behind me, that is Frost Hill Avenue. It's on the corner of Lisbon Street, and this is the Route 196 junction for people who are familiar with this area. Down Frost Hill Avenue is the way you get to the boat launch. Me and Sam Rogers, who's with me right now behind the camera, attempted to go down and were turned around by police who are clearly have now blocked off the road. Just within the last probably 15 minutes, these cars have pulled up. They're blocking the road here. They're blocking the road across. If you look across this Easy Mart right here, that is Lisbon Street that is being blocked. The road beside Sam is being blocked. And right behind that, speaking of schools that are going to be impacted by this, is Lisbon High School. No word yet on what their plans are, but all of this is happening right here in the center of Lisbon Falls. You have the town of Lisbon police who are on scene here, sheriffs, we've seen ambulance, fire. Really, speaking to Lee, what you said earlier, the response has been pretty remarkable to see in the wake of this devastation. So not sure what's going on, but I will say that when we first got here, the first thing that Sam and I noticed was a helicopter in the sky. If it comes back by, we'll show you, but shining a light down. So clearly there is a large presence here, and we'll continue to keep you updated as we learn more. But I did want to just know, in terms of the response and in terms of what we've seen, we drove from Portland all the way down to Lisbon Falls, and along the way there were several police cars who were posted at exits or at the turnarounds of the highway, checking out vehicles that were passing by. So you hope you never have to use this training, but it seems that the response was quick and that clearly it's very heavy. So like I said, we are here. Now we are blocked in. This kind of happened after we arrived. So we'll continue to keep you posted just as we learn more and update you here from Lisbon Falls.
All right, Hannah Kumler live in Lisbon Falls, keeping an eye on what's happening there. Obviously a huge police presence, so for whatever reason they think they need to be there, that's obviously a point of interest for them.
Yeah, and to close Lisbon Street in itself is a big deal. That's a major road, obviously, that goes right into Lewiston. So certainly a wider impact than just Lewiston Auburn as we continue learning tonight of a number of other communities impacted.
No surprise, Auburn School Department closing all schools for tomorrow as well. Seems to be a familiar theme, certainly in that immediate area and even some of the outside areas as well.
Yes, I certainly wouldn't be surprised if others, if we continue to learn through the night, that other schools will be closed. I imagine there's a tremendous amount of again, processing what's happening in the immediate. There's a gunman who is not in custody, and then the processing of the impact to these dozens of families tonight and what you do tomorrow.
And not for nothing, this happened early enough tonight that kids were not in bed yet. My own child asked me, "Hey, Dad, where are you going? You don't work at night, you work in the morning." So I said, "Well, you know what, sweetie, I'm going to go in right now," because, so there are going to be a lot of kids out there with a lot of questions and a lot of support that's going to be needed for them in their schools, whether this directly affects them or not. It's a scary situation because kids, like law enforcement, like EMS, have all been trained on what to do if. Right? And this is our if, and this is our now, this is our when. And so for a lot of kids out there, whether they're in the Androscoggin County or not, this is going to really hit close to home, literally and figuratively, and they're going to have a lot of questions, a lot of stuff to process and get through. It's going to be a lot of work for a lot of people.
You know, a number of us have touched on last night. We're fortunate at News Center Maine that so many of us grew up here. This is home. This is where we grew up. We know these communities and we know these streets, and it is personal. And we know it's personal for you tonight. And this is all very difficult to process all around, that it happened in our home.
That's the good and the bad, because we're also likely to know somebody.
Correct.
You and I are likely going to talk tomorrow and say, "Hey, I didn't know, but my so-and-so was at the bar, was at the bowling alley." And that's,
so many of you will be doing that.
Yeah, and that's, that's going to be hard.
Amanda Hill is one who often says Maine is just one big small town. For that reason, you know people everywhere. We, of course, are staying with you as we are waiting probably primarily at this point to hear from state police. We are expecting to hear from them. We have a crew at Lewiston City Hall where we're told a briefing is likely coming. We anticipate we hope to learn at least some more information at that point. But right now, that's the big number we have right now is the number of people who are killed.
Well, and you have to, we're certainly not here to guess or project what is or what isn't happening. You'd like to at least believe that with all the police presence in different areas, that they're not there by accident, that they have a purpose for being there, and that hopefully some type of resolution is closer than it is far away. And, that would certainly be. It makes me feel better to think that that's true. So I just hope that is true and that they're just getting closer and that we're not hearing from Maine State Police because, something is relatively imminent. So they might as well wait and tell us when they've got something, that will be a little, take some weight off of our shoulders for them to tell us. Yeah, so we're all just sitting around waiting, literally, for police to find at least this man. This is one that we have been told about. That's who they're looking for. And, if there are other people, then I'm sure we'll hear about them as well. And if not, then hopefully they'll find this gentleman as soon as possible.
Do we have the sound from Mary Ellen Davis from earlier tonight? Chris Costa spoke with her as she was basically describing what was happening in the moment, that some of this was unfolding in Lewiston tonight. Really just, you can hear in her voice that this was not a normal phone call as she was describing what was unfolding in her world. So we do want to hear part of that conversation with Chris Costa from earlier this evening.
Yeah, everybody's here is fine. We're cold. We're worried. There's one very elderly woman who is doing the best she can. We're being told to leave right now. We're going to the armory in Lewiston.
Okay. Are they telling you why? It's just to find a safer place?
I have to listen to the police.
Okay.
Okay. You can call me back in 15 minutes if you want.
Okay. Thanks, Mary Ellen. Be safe.
I've dealt with my neighbor for 27 years, so please be patient. I know you want to get out of here. We're going to do what we can to get you out of here.
So again, you were listening to that phone call with Chris Costa.
And you could hear the urgency in the voice of the law enforcement behind, to make sure that to keep those people safe. Safety is certainly first and foremost for the people who are currently safe and try to keep them that way and mandating that they stay where they are. There's no reason to go anywhere right now until this gets resolved and to stay safe and so it doesn't get worse. RSU 16, Poland, Mechanic Falls, Minot, closing school tomorrow. Again, this is going to be a familiar theme, certainly in that area for sure.
Our Caroline LaCour is one of our live crews tonight. She is at the hospital in Portland. We can looks like some lights behind you there, Caroline. Describe for us what is going on at that scene tonight.
Hey, good evening, Brian. Yeah, I'm standing here right in front of Maine Medical Center here in Portland. As you can see behind me, there's a few police vehicles outside. So far, we have not seen any ambulances or emergency helicopters arrive from the possible victims of this mass casualty event. Maine Medical Center is the state's only level 1 trauma care center. The trauma care levels, level 1 through 5, sort of refers to the amount of resources that are available to take care of someone who has went through a trauma incident. The level 1 trauma care can provide the highest level of care for a patient in that sort of need. So Maine Medical Center can handle that sort of need, but we so far have not had any confirmation on if any of the victims of tonight's incident have arrived at Maine Medical Center. Earlier this evening, we did see an ambulance from Turner's arrive, but it is not confirmed if that is one of the victims. We're standing here. We'll be keeping you updated on if we learn any further information later on this evening. Back to you, Brian.
Caroline LaCour live at Maine Med tonight in Portland, where we would anticipate some of the injured would be taken tonight.
Sure. I mean, it's going to take, if we're talking about something on this much of a mass scale, Lewiston is going to need some assistance from its friends and neighbors, and I'm assuming everybody in the area and the state will step up to help out. Not just schools canceling tomorrow. The Lewiston BMV branch will not be open tomorrow either. So if you're planning to go there, then you don't. Maine Medical Center has put out a statement as well. This is literally just coming in. So let me just get to this. So Maine Medical Center. Maine Medical Center has alerted on-call staff and created critical care and operating room capacity in anticipation of potential patient transports coming from the Lewiston shooting tonight. At this time, Maine Medical Center can confirm it will receive one patient transport from CMMC. Other Maine health facilities are also standing by, and they are preparing to provide care as well. Out of an abundance of caution and due to the dynamic nature of the situation, Maine Medical Center and other Maine health hospitals have closed the campuses to non-hospital personnel and non-patients until further notice. So
that's a big note.
Yeah, so in effect, Maine Medical Center is also now in lockdown. If you don't work there or you're not a patient there, you're not getting in there. So again, the words out of an abundance of caution, should be noted, but that's to the seriousness of this and the fact that this person hasn't been caught, or person or people. Whoever's responsible has not been caught yet. So we sit here and we certainly pray that it's over, right? I mean, we pray that it's only the awful, ridiculously horrific number of 22 people. But until someone is caught, we don't know what's happening, and everybody needs to stay safe wherever you are. I mean, our state's big; it's not that big, so we just got to be careful and diligent about everything that's going on. This is what Central Maine Medical Center looked like earlier tonight, and again, at least one patient officially heading from there to Maine Medical Center as they wait for them. So just a lot going on for a lot of people, and everybody trying to do their part to help. But first and foremost, and the most important part of this puzzle is catching this person responsible.
And this video from Central Maine Medical Center this afternoon, you obviously see a number of people standing outside. Our Jack Moment has been there for a while now, and clearly these are friends, family, relatives, presumably of people who were transported there after the shooting happened at the Spare Time Recreation Building just 2 miles north of Central Maine Medical Center, right there on Main Street in Lewiston. And as we have covered events like this in other communities and cities around our country for years now, as is often the case, there is a number of people who did not survive, and then there is a number of people who did and have a wide range of injuries. And that is also a big variable right now that we don't know. We have not heard any number of how many people were possibly transported to Central Maine Medical Center. We know that one now going from CMMC to Portland. But that will be a big question also for police tonight of what can they share with us in terms of how many other people were injured. Who else out there is struggling directly with these events tonight? Again, another thing we don't know is how many gunmen were involved. We know that there was one. We have seen his photo from police shared with us, and there is that question about were there others. There have been multiple scenes that police have been responding to throughout the night, not just in Lewiston. We saw Hannah Cumler at some kind of scene in Lisbon, which is not far down the road, obviously from there as well, with Lisbon Road closed as well. So wide scene there.
Full disclosure, we're working while we're talking to you, right? I mean, Brian and I are from here. I'm old. We all know a lot of people. So, for people who have possible information, things they're willing to share, we're in constant communication with them while we're talking to you. So I'm not being rude.
Oh, not at all.
I hate to leave you hanging and be talking about yourself, but I'm working on something here, and I'm just trying to do all the jobs at once. So when you're dad of 8, you can juggle a lot of hats. So I'm at least multitasking in that regard. So.
We're getting everything we can, and from where I sit, I can see that there is a podium at Lewiston City Hall. I'm looking at a monitor with a number of microphone flags on it, and that's where this is a live picture of what I was just describing. This is where we anticipate hearing from state police at some point this evening, where hopefully we will have some more information to share with you, hopefully some good news about their search for this gunman tonight. And I'm just checking some new information we just got as well.
I mean, can we say that?
It's from Lewiston Police on their Facebook page.
Okay. This is from Lewiston Police Department. The Maine Law Enforcement Bulletin. Maine State Police attempting to locate Robert Card, the person of interest regarding a mass shooting incident at Schmeggy's Bar and Grill and the Spare Time Recreation in Lewiston. Card is a trained firearms instructor believed to be in the Army Reserve stationed out of Saco. According to law enforcement, Card recently reported mental health issues, including hearing voices and threats to shoot up the National Guard base in Saco. He was also reported to have been committed to a mental health facility for 2 weeks in the summer of 2023. He's last known to be operating a white Subaru Outback with that black bumper with Maine license plates. Again, Robert Card, this is from Maine law enforcement, is who they're looking for. The picture right there on your screen, the same person who's been in the video that we've been showing you tonight with the same car that we've been showing you as well. And obviously, based on the information that was just given to us, certainly a very dangerous person. I think we've seen that tonight, and his background seems to warrant that as well. And this is the person that they're looking for. That's the car they're looking for. And again, his name officially identified by law enforcement as Robert Card, who is a Army Reserve station out of Saco. Yeah, we're going to read the whole thing again, just so you guys can get that. Okay.
I would not. That one I would go down.
Yep.
I'm gonna send it directly to the bottom of this.
Okay.
So again, we just got information in moments ago. We were just chatting with Chris Costa, our colleague. We just got information moments ago about the specific suspect. Police say they are looking for. His photo is on your screen right now. Robert Card is his name. This is who this is focused around tonight. We've been looking at the photo of the car they believe he was driving tonight, that white Subaru Outback with a black bumper. And now they are sharing this photo, again from state police tonight, or from law enforcement tonight, about the person they are looking for at this hour.
So that's the one. If you go back to your teams.
Working to pull up that information again, the specific details police described.
Yep. So Lewiston Police Department released it. So the picture that we just showed you, law enforcement attempting to locate Robert Card. They've got a birth date here of April 4th, 1983. As a person of interest regarding the mass shooting at Schmeggy's Bar and Spare Time Rec tonight, Card should be considered armed and dangerous, and please contact law enforcement if you happen to be aware of his whereabouts. This is from the Lewiston Police Department. That's the picture. That's the description. Again, April 4th, 1983 birth date. Robert Card is who they're looking for.
That puts him at 40. And this is the suspect they, as far as we know, are still looking for tonight. And again, with that description of the vehicle he is believed to have been in, that's on your screen right now. That's the photo of the car they say he was driving tonight. That white Subaru Outback, again, with the black bumper. You can see just the edge of it on the left side of your screen right there. So again, that info just came in from Lewiston Police, describing and identifying for the first time by more than just a photograph who they are searching for right now. And again, because of that search, that shelter in place has expanded from, first it was Lewiston, Auburn, and then now it is all of Androscoggin County at this hour.
All right. Let's go to Jack Mulmud, who I believe is still outside the Hospital Central Medical Center in Lewiston. Hey, Jack.
That's right. Hey, Lee and Brian. Standing outside here out of Central Maine Medical Center, this is the hospital, the closest location to where that shooting took place, taking on the bulk of the victims here in this shooting. That claimed the lives of 22 people here in Lewiston this evening. And as we've been talking throughout this night, much more of a tragedy than Lewiston. It involves Maine and the nation here as we feel the loss of these 22 people. But standing outside here of Central Maine Medical Center earlier, as I said, we saw dozens of people waiting
Okay,
outside,
folks, unfortunately, I'm going to be logging off of this coverage. Need to go to bed, early morning for work tomorrow. So we will continue to monitor the situation. I'll post any updates you have. If I find out anything else, I'll post it on the Facebook page for Palm Live. And if you learn anything as well, you can shoot me a message on Palm Live on Facebook. But for now, I'm turning off the coverage for the night and sending prayers to Maine. So thank you for joining me tonight as we cover this and get the information directly from the news station in Maine. Have a good night, folks.
As they approach this hospital to understand more about the situation and how it may have impacted their loved one. Nurses, first responders, doctors that we've seen walking in and out of here have just been, it's hard to describe what's going on here because it's just been such pure shock. We've talked about this often, how, you prepare for this every day, but when the day comes like this, it's totally different. Some of those people that were staying out here are still waiting for answers to see if their loved one is safe or not. We spoke with a woman named Julie who moved to Lewiston when she was 17 years old. Last we spoke to her, she still does not know if her son is alive or dead. And she said he was in that shooting at Schmenge's bar here in Lewiston. And she said she showed up here when she heard her son was shot. And she's still waiting to hear more. Let's go ahead and hear a little bit of what she has to say.
My ex-husband and my son were playing pool. And next thing I know, I saw on Facebook that there was a shooting at Schmenge's where they were playing. And then nobody would tell us anything. Just go to CMMC. His wife, his son, my ex-husband are here. Friends are here. We're all waiting, and we've heard nothing. They won't tell us if he's alive, if he's in critical condition, if he's passed. They won't tell us anything.
They told us that this is an active. And while so many people, just like Julie, are just trying to understand the situation, us here are also trying to understand the gravity. It's hard to wrap your head around the pure human loss of life that has happened here. All the while we're talking about this, there have been multiple life flight helicopters landing here at Central Maine Medical Center. It is one of the sources for life flight helicopters. We've seen at least more than a dozen over the last 2 hours fly in and out of here, seemingly transporting patients out of here. But as we've been talking, it's an important reminder for our audience that there still is an active lockdown here in Androscoggin County. That means lock your doors, do not drive, stay inside as much as you can, and keep following for updates from law enforcement and us here on News Center as we try our best to learn more information that's going down here. But for now, we're live here in Lewiston outside Central Maine Medical Center. We'll toss back to you, Zach, Amanda.
Jack Mulmond live outside of CMMC, as he just said, and he's talking about how difficult this is for a lot of families. Thank you for sticking with us. I'm Amanda Hill. This is Zach Blanchard.
Yeah, an incredibly difficult night for our state and for the country. We are just receiving statements from Senator King and Susan Collins saying that they've been in touch with President Joe Biden, all about Lewiston, Maine. Getting the headline tonight that at least 22 people killed in an active shooter situation. Folks just out for the night at a bar and grill in Lewiston, out for a bowling league after work.
Yeah, and if you are just joining us, this is where police have really focused their investigation at Spare Time Recreation. That's a bowling alley in Lewiston. That's on Mollison Way. Also at Schmenge's Bar and Grill, which is on Lincoln Street. It's about 4 miles from Spare Time Recreation there. We have also been told about some police activity in Lisbon Falls. We have our Hannah Kumler there. She's been briefing us on